Hello? Oh! Model! Appear! Hello! Wait, what happened to my limiter? Bruh. What happened to my limiter? My limiter just went on a vacation. What happened to my limiter? Hello? Nondas! Hi! Hello? 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 Yes. Okay. This is fine. How you guys doing today? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome to the chat. Welcome. My name is... Welcome. Yes, as you guys saw in the announcement, this will be my last stream before my break happens. I'll be taking a week break after, on the 26th. So I think I could be back for next Sunday, but I don't know. I'll be decided later on. But yeah, this will be the last break, so I wanted the last stream before break, so I want to fit in a horror game for Halloween, the spooky season. Yeah. This is from the same creator as Married and Red and Dead Plate. Have not played Dead Plate yet. We'll probably do that sometime in the future. It'll happen sometime. Just not now. Yeah, we're playing a holiday game. It's a visual novel horror game. I like the creators' like art style and storytelling, so I figured why not. I usually do chill arts in Halloween, but I do not have any money to spend on chill arts. So this is the best solution for now. Maybe I'll pay Parasocial if I actually get it. This when I'm able to get it. Anyways. Yeah, let's jump right into it, shall we? Off with the peaceful music and on with the horror. This background would make sense in like 5 seconds. Oh, right now. I like the background. Alrighty, so welcome to the Rotten in the Paradise. Psychological horror game, visual novel. I heard it's 2 hours, so it's gonna take me a break. Knowing me. Alright, so let's go! New game! This game is a work of fiction that may be consists of thalassophobia, including themes of mild blood, mild violence, blah blah blah. I can't read. Shift Z, interact Z, and X to cancel. Thanks! Do not mislead. Bad company corrupts a good character. Okay. Oh shit. I feel like I should probably do that again. Let's retry it again. Oops. I forgot my model was in front of the whole entire screen. We're doing it again. I'm a big dumbass. I'm a dumbass. Yes. There can be more of the content warnings. Violence, disorder, eating, mass composing, disturbed imagery, audio, and stuff. So if you are very sensitive to those things, please do look away. It'll probably take me 2 hours, so I want to be back in like 2 or 3 hours-ish. Or not. Evil eye, I know, it doesn't matter. As long as you know. Or you can just lurk. Do not be misled. So, do our friends just suck? Is that what this game's trying to tell me? This game is trying to tell me. I swear I heard my alarm set off. Bloody hell. Hope it not last. This should be where we're supposed to meet up. I wonder where... Hey! Ah! Well, look who it is. June's over there. She's here? No, wait. Don't come here just yet. Alright, bye, bitch. Okay, if you don't want me here. Look at you run. Hello. Now pay up. You guys already made a bet? I bet you to be last. The only time you came in early, it had to be today. Why couldn't you like come a little later? Hey, I'm starting to sound like it's starting to sound like you just want me to leave. Wait, no. I don't mean it like that. I'm just messing with you. Well, it's just like you're normally really lazy and messy and forget. Can I punch him? No offense. Offense taken. Oh no, I totally agree. I was surprised myself too. Don't even worry about it. Oh, thank God. I knew something was off for Vaughn to be this happy to see me anyways. Oh please, you should feel appreciated to have a friend who knows you well. Well, you knew I was gonna be third. You knew I was gonna be third? Not specifically third. But I assume you probably stayed up all night since you barely got any sleep when something exciting's coming up. That ended up passing out near the morning, and when you got up, you panicked and thinking you were late. I packed everything as fast as you can before stumbling out of here. You can be quite fast when you're under pressure after all. Sounds about right. Yes. Oh wow, am I that easy to read? Not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I packed all the things you probably missed. Aw, that's sweet. Thank you. I mean, fishy as hell for like anytime. So that's where you guys were. Hi, sorry I'm late. Carmi. Junebug. Aw, that's so cute. How are they already so energetic early in the morning? Tell me about it. Oh my god, I didn't expect you to already be here! Me neither. Oh, this is so exciting. You guys hang out all the time. Why are you usually more excited than the rest of us? I mean, it's fair to have all 5 of us, right? Whenever Camille and I meet up, it's an unemployed bonding over the pain of other friends having responsibilities when we're bored. It took you guys months to schedule this trip, so we were still having the right to be excited. Oh, give them the right. Yeah, give them the right. Fine. Wants to take away my rights? Ooh, what's wrong with you? I can't believe I'm ganged up on idiots. Excited idiots. It's talk about idiots, what about me? Ryan! Told you he'd be late. Oh really? I thought it could have been June. That's what I said. We didn't miss a fury, did we? I feel terrible if you guys stay behind with a little old man like old me. Ew. No worries, you just made it. And most of us would have waited for you. Keyword being most. And one of my having his swim over the island instead. You know you can't swim. Exactly. I love her actually, she's so funny. Oi. Guys, look. Friday day. Day. Sorry. Wow, this is so much nicer than I was expecting. Well, it's on an island. Well, I got this checked up. You guys can go watch my stuff? We're not toddlers, we can handle it. Love you, thanks! Yeah, but if you can handle it, wake me up once we're ready to head into rooms. The first thing you're doing is napping? Checkin's not that long. With the clothes, you better believe I've been napping every piece of furniture I see. Most people have a breeze by resort lobbies. You know how much the management must have paid for this nice ambience? Plush cushions. This is a lobby luxury. You don't get it at any motel. I'm taking advantage of every inch of this place. Lame. Was he checked in? I'm gonna go to the beach. I will go scuba diving. Carmen said they had instructors so you can rent gear for lessons. Well, first thing I'm doing is checking the quality of the rooms. I want to see what the stuff management kept up on. Yeesh. You were making fun of my vacation plans. Hey Bunny, can you help me talk to the help desk? He said chickens are pushed back a couple hours. On it. June, you're watching the bags. Well, while we talk things out, yeah? Yeah, but I don't want to go check out the beach. You're good watching the bags. Yeah, I guess. Thanks a million! Is it over yet? It's only been 3 seconds, but... Hey, it's getting a little thirsty if you want to excuse to explore. Explore? Yeah, maybe not explore, but I was just planning on checking out the buffet until we were officially checked in. Explore. Alright, explore it is. Hell yeah! Okay, Ryan, thanks so much for watching the luggage. You're the best, love you. Oi, who said I was watching the luggage? Yeah, we have one. See you later, bud. Probably knew her if you're about for the guy. Funds choose up underpaid employees like it's an art form. Hey, do you work here? Yes I do. Is there anything I can help you with? But you know who I should talk to schedule a diving session? I heard there's reviews for beautiful here. Oh, I'm sorry, you caught me at a bad time. We sadly aren't currently scheduling diving lessons. What? That's false advertising and stuff. Isn't that false advertising? We sincerely apologize. If you bought the Ocean Explorer bundle with your cable rental, we'll be sure to refund your party. That's too bad. We'll get out of your hair. Hey, don't be hasty. Is this a maintenance issue? When will it be available again? I shouldn't be telling you this, but it's kind of a last second issue. Oh no, did something happen? I can't really... Were they eaten by a bunch of sharks? Did he feel sick? Did he eat something bad? No, it's not that. Hit by his people? No, they... They replaced most of the equipment left. The resort's looking into it and hiring a replacement as well as ordering new equipment. But you likely won't be able to get lessons during your stay here now. However, the beaches are lovely this time of year and looking to be good weather for the weekend. So we hope it doesn't put too much of a damper for your stay with us. Oh shoot, that sounds frustrating. Thanks for telling us anyways. Yeah, it's no worries. Of course, if there's anything else you need, please let us know. My money's still on sharks. 20 on the food poisoning deal. Can I talk to her? Do we interact with the door at all? Hey, don't go running off. We just got here. Sorry, Mom. Papa, this is a vibe. Wanna grab some drinks? The food's and the labors after all that exploring. You reach for a cup. Huh? Hey, what's your problem? May, I need you like on my friend right now. You listening? Hey! Ah! The man stumbled back and rushed us off somewhere else. Bloody hell, are you okay? Here, use my shirt to wipe it off. Nah, it's fine, really. We want a little drink to ruin the vacay, right? I haven't been to shower anyways. Want to go drown the guy? You know how I feel about violence, Junzi. So, what a dickhead. He better piss off somewhere far, cause if I see that burger again, I'm dumping him right to the deep end. Junzi? Sorry. Chicken son. What happened to you? Yeah, I may have got a rain check or something. Some prick grabbed my wrist and the McCoy tried helping me out. He splashed a drink right on him. What a dickhead! Why did you go drown that guy? That's what I said. Those things definitely aren't going anywhere if we don't head out now and wash off in our cabins. I'm getting tough first before drowning anyone. No, drowning for anyone, please. Come on, big guy. Oh, that's nice. Who came drinks? Carmen reaches out to drink at the mini bar. No. Oh, what is it? Room drinks are never as good as they cost. They're high prices you don't know. And if you pick them up, they can still charge you for it. A total scam. No fun. What if I get thirsty in the middle of a midnight drink? It's too late for room service. I can have any of my entire vacation is ruined. What then? But then you might have a drinking problem. Oh, nothing to worry about, ladies. You got your own personal baby bar right here. Ladies? Is seriously why we bother hauling you a cooler? Hey, what's this town? I figure of all people would appreciate a good blend. Why would we look from Cant's beer? This one has his own bar. They have cocktails I want to try. But that's overpriced. Overpriced for you, maybe. Wait. I'm clicking on everything that can be clicked on. Seems like a Donnie. Something the matter, Vaughn? Nothing, yet I'm admiring the cleanliness of the room. One last time before you two open the zippers in the bag. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Hey, this must be a room with the bed. I'm already getting cabin fever. We're meant to be outside and I feel like we've spent the entire day trapped. Hold on, we should probably start unpacking before doing anything else, right? But I want to go sightseeing! Now I've been down all day, my feet's already tired, so do we have to? The ferry comes at 11 AM Monday, at least 12 sharp. I don't want anyone getting to pack Sunday nights only for us to miss it. McCoy really should shout first though. Yeah, ma'am. Everyone else, get to work. Bunny dragged Carmen right towards their own cabin to Buddy ear, while McCoy clicked the bathroom door behind him. See, the first mistake he was is leaving me unsupervised. That's getting rid. I'm going sightseeing. But I kinda wanna do bugs. Oh. Open the map. Travel to lobby. Ooh, I could fast travel. What up? Oh, we go. Let's go to the lobby. No, how about the car? Decisions. Okay. Is this where our house is? Oh. Oh, it is. Okay. Well, looks the same as ours. I better go somewhere else for a change. When will you hear about nagging again? Or the docks. I guess the Fury already left. I don't think we care about the Fury. Ooh, they're pressing on boats. Beautiful day and sitting on the sea. Oh, I keep forgetting I can't really click that. Beach. so empty. I guess everyone else is busy unpacking too. I should probably save, because this say you need to save constantly. Oh shit. I keep pressing. Oh no 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 no. No shit. I didn't get used to the controls. Whoops. Whoops. I freaking see an essence of the thing. Bio 1. Okay, there's really nothing here. Coolios. Bar? Shame Kermit's not here with me. He said she wanted to try the contest, right? She'll love a vibe here. I better back to her later than late tonight. Shoot, I think the sun's already setting. I should head back and find the others now. Friday nights. Friday night. Should we leave? I guess not, we're here. Hello, friends of mine. Do I click on any of you? I'm confused. Do I get myself a drink? Yo, buddy. Wait, I literally don't know what I'm doing. I like the music though. Wait, is something supposed to happen here? I'm clicking every single person I should be interacted with. Wait, am I stuck? Wait, am I... Hello? I can't interact with anything here. Is going here a mistake? I can't interact with anything. Oh, there it is. I have to press up? Okay. Tune up. I was getting worried. Did you get lost or something? Well, kind of. I am by a pack of sharks. Stop saying that. I overheard a bartender saying they were roaming around the alley that night. Me in their gray hole. Are sharks even pack animals? I don't think they even have they're even local to the area. They wait out the shoreline for anyone brave enough to go to the deep end at night. The only evidence that someone was there is whatever guts wash up on store. And there goes my appetite. You stop it already! You're freaking me out. Wait, why are the guts washed up if they eat the prey whole? He's asking the real questions. Lay it off, Ray. Besides, a shark wouldn't stand a chance against me. If any of us would be riskier for being shark food, it'd be you. Oi. I wouldn't go that far. Thank you, Bonnie. Maybe a toothpick, but a shark was pushing it. Thanks, guys. Not to be so sappy or anything, but I really need this vacation. Of course, this has been a blast. Yeah, oh, and how's the cousin situation going lately? You mentioned something about helping her last week, right? It's pretty much wrapped up. She's doing better, thankfully. But I do feel bad about what happened. I mean, she did just leave her friend group. But I'm happy to be here for her. I'm happy to be there to cheer her up, but I really need this time to recharge after that. Besides, everyone could tell they were dickheads. She should have ditched them a long time ago. Well, here's to recharging for the rest of vacation. Mop, mop, mop. Says someone who's the hardest to convince to get to get on board during planning. Wanna repeat that? Relax, I was just joking. Could you crawl somewhere else, please? Oh. Is there glass in the cups? The guest was to escort out the bar with support from nearby staff member. Did anyone just see that? Yeah, she was really sick. I hope she was okay. No, like, the thing she choked out. What was that? It's almost like some kind of metal. What? Why would she choke out a piece of metal? I don't know, it just looked like one. I thought it was glass. I can't be the only one who saw it, right? Ryan? Not sure, but it did look like a heavy chunk. See? How many drinks did you two have? Maybe it's getting a bit late. A lot happened after all. I wouldn't mind ending the night a bit early as well. I plan to do some night reading, but plenty of fun to be had next 2 days, right? I wouldn't want to burn ourselves out at the start. But yeah, sounds good. Saturday day. Hey, you wanna finish? Wanna help me finish these drinks? Jeez, how do you end up with this many cocktails, anyways? Carmen made me get them. And you let her, you left her alone to finish them? That's cool. Tell me about it. But I can tell you the best part. Oh? All of them are terrible. Well, that's the best part! Only I have someone else to roast them with. I've been making them on my own, but I need a second opinion. Here, try this one. Why is it so sweet? The description of the menu is a subtle taste of fruity classic. It tastes like a force-fed of fruit salad, corn syrup. Exactly. Hey, let me get the next one. I'm starting to see the appeal. That's one described as a signature margarita, bursting with flavor. What the hell? It doesn't taste like anything. And get this, $30. What? For that. It's a disgrace on the concept bartending. Is unacceptable. It's impressive how easy to learn to love or hate things when you're around. That's what I'm here for. What you doing, buddy? Having protagonist moment? As he's just enjoying the ocean breeze. I feel like he's gonna be first one to go. You don't do that random ass thingy pose and then be alive at the end. Yeah, bestie? How come you're not in the water? You have your suit on. I'm mostly wearing it because it looks cute. It does. What are you planning on doing instead? I was thinking about making like a sandcastle, just think a big hole. But Vinny and McCoy seems busy, I don't want to bother them. But both Vinny and McCoy seems busy, so I don't want to bother them. What about Ryan? He's the Ted of party pooper. He's what? Doesn't he know that it's not allowed? Doesn't he know that it's not allowed with a federal offense in most places? It is? And on your birthday, no less? My birthday's in March. No offense, but that's of course a hefty punishment. Wanna bury him in the sand? Oh, absolutely. Hey! Hello? Having fun taking up space? Having fun pestering everyone? You call it pestering? I just call it bonding. Not when it's coming from you. Rude. Annoying. How? Well, for one, you're interrupting me. Two, interrupting what? You're not even doing anything. Sunbathing. You don't sunbathe, you burn, see? Oh, stop that! Oh, come on. Guy McCoy and me might want to... Well, chicken fight, we'll need a fourth person. Bonnie doesn't seem to be doing anything important. You and I both know she wouldn't go that deep in the water. And I would. Well, no, but you're easier to bully in peer pressure. Hey! Besides, what is nice day? You sure you don't wanna swim? I could teach you, you know. In the ocean? Not really. You can do me a favor, stop blocking my sun. I'm trying to get a hot tan. I grabbed this for you, you asshole. Oh, I haven't had this much fun since... Huh? Hey, wait. Do you guys see that? That looks like an old man. Guys, I think we should go help him. It's too early for that. McCoy, come on. Could you just... Me? Why? Huh? What do you mean why? I mean, you were a lifeguard. And he looks like he's struggling, so you... I don't know what's that got to do with now, though. He would have stopped if he thought you couldn't do it. We might get in trouble if we interrupted. Hey, now, wait a minute. What are you? You know what? Fine, I'll go in. I think you saved an alien, bestie. Sir, please, I'm trying to help you. Stop struggling. Let's see. You press C, I spam C. You pulled out the old man back to shore. Ungrateful brats. Excuse me? Ungrateful. When she takes back what's rightfully hers, you'll be lucky not to be left behind. Who? What do you... The fuck? What's his problem? Oh, are you good? Yeah. Thanks, bye. That was just really weird. He didn't hurt you, did he? No, yeah, he didn't. He just left. I guess it's just more so confused on why they're acting like that. Because everyone else is having a weird day. God damn it, Carmen's next, isn't she? I actually liked her too. Ugh. Bloody hell, my head is killing me. I need a glass of water. Honey, what the? McCoy? Hey man, can you hear me? What's gotten into you? Where you get the jug? McCoy, stop! Bestie? June? What are... I didn't mean... Don't. Just don't. I'll be over in the other cabin. Don't wait up. What the hell is his problem? It's locked. Hello, Carmi, Vaughn, Ryan. Can you open the door, please? I really don't have to go out in our key. Come on. Guys, it's really cold out here. Guys? The front desk probably has a spare. Hello, Nippers! Hello, welcome, how are you? Welcome, how are you? We are playing Ruts in Paradise. I heard again before I go on vacation. How are ya? Where is everyone? Maybe because they're asleep, bestie. Nah. Hello. Hello. Shouldn't there be someone at the front desk? I thought this place was staffed 24/7. Shouldn't there be somebody on the front desk? That'd be stuff. What do you want me to do? Break in? Good, how about you? Doing fine, doing fine. I'm just reading. I think we should just head back. What's that noise? Nah. That's when you fucking book it, honey. That is when you book it. You do not check any random strange ass noise. That's how you die. Oh damn it, I have to check it, don't I? Got it, I have to check it. Got it. Fucking god. Bonnie? Bon, is that you? What are you doing here? It's like 2 AM. Wake up hungry and decide to get something. I see that. Is that seafood good? What is that supposed to mean? Is there a problem with it? Am I supposed to be here or something? Am I not supposed to be here or something? Well, it is 2 AM. What's this game about? I do not know. Apparently there is very disturbing themes to it. I think this might be the what's the one where you have like a fight with like food or something? I forgot what it's called. So basically you and your friends are booked into a vacation vacay. So basically have a 3-day vacation. And all of a sudden things just go haywire. People look like zombies. And your friends are not normal. What? No, not at all. I didn't mean it's like that. It's your vacation. You can do whatever you want. What are you doing here then? I'm looking for an employee. I was gonna get a key to your cabin. What do you need that for? Well, I was hoping I could stay the night with you guys. Of course, it's been acting weird and... You wanna stay with us? But we already got 3 people on ours. Yeah, but... Do you really have to invade our space too? Mine's always sleeping on the couch. We barely have enough room. Can you just talk it out with McCoy? No. I don't think I feel safe there. I'm sorry. Fine. You can probably take Camille's room anyways. But if you're here, why would I take Carmen's? Do I have to explain everything for you, June? You're an adult. I'm clearly busy here. Sorry. Thanks for letting me borrow the key. I don't think this is normal. Vacation theme stream, yeah. The day before I go on my break, so... That was a bit creepers. I don't is Carmine dead? Is our girlie dead? Where's Ryan? I thought Vern said he was taking the couch. Carmen's not here. Where is she? I don't think this is normal. All their drinks too. This is gonna be how long's the break? It's gonna be a week. So I'll probably be back next Sunday. But yeah. Just a little time to charge up and all that. I still upload videos, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna keep that up. But streams will be on a week vacation. Carmen? Are you okay? I'm fine. Just feeling impatient. Where's Ryan? Don't even bring up that jerk right now. What did he do? I told you to drop it! But... You really need to know. He started having a freak out, so I told him to go let off some steam. At this rate, she'll never take him back. What? Who won't take him back? You're gonna freak out on me too. But just shut up! I don't want any more attitude tonight. Either sleep it off or go away. Why are you sleeping in the bathtub, honey? If you need anything, feel free to let me know. Nice vacations need a ton better to avoid burnout. Yeah, I have been feeling a little bit burnout recently, so I do need a little break. So yeah, maybe I should just sleep it off. It will sort itself out in the morning. Go sleep. Go sleep. Go to Sunday day. I thought the weather was gonna be good. It's not good. It's raining. Ugh. Morning? It's only been night. Why is the car this damaged already? I need to go find the others. Huh? Carmen's not inside. Maybe Carmen? What are you doing, bestie? Carmen! What are you doing out here? You're gonna get soaked. Carmen? Are you listening to me? Hey, are you awake? Go away! Stop annoying me! Can you just take a hint? I'm busy. You don't look too busy, honey. I'm just... You look like you're about to be dead. McCoy? Where'd he go? Bruh. Is there no one in the rooms? I guess not. So everyone's just being a flat out asshole or they're brain dead. Maybe we could check the lobby. Could probably be... What the hell? They're still conscious. What? Are you guys okay? There's light in that room. I don't like that. She's shaking. There's any food on the table. It's just broken bits of silverware. And your screws covered in Bonnie? You were here the whole night? Are you okay? If you're feeling sick, you can just stop. Come on. No. Let go of me. I need this. Huh? I don't want her to lose me. I need to give the fish back. What are you talking about? You're not making any sense. Are they staying out there in the rain like that? Honey, I think we just stumbled upon a cult. I think this might be a cult. I'm just saying. It's just I'm not leaving. I need to find out others first. Let's go to the beach. Yo, are you done? McCoy, what are you doing here? It's pouring. He's almost here. Oh, what do you mean? I'm already here? Come inside. It's dangerous to be out in the waters right now. I don't want you to get swept up. That's fine. I'll stay out here. Look, is this about last night? I know it's an accident. I'm sorry I yelled. Give it some time. Alright, I'll give you some time. Man is having a protagonist moment where he's gonna die. And like... Why is he standing in the ocean like that, bruh? Man's just standing in the ocean looking out. The entire resort is falling apart. Wait, is there someone behind the door? I can see that. I just can't interact with them. You good, buddy? Okay, now I'm lost. What the fuck do I do now? Like, do I really interact with someone here, but I can't interact with anything right now. Is it him? Do I interact with him? Kind of wish they did give us like a highlight that what we can interact with, because I can't interact with anything right now. I feel like I'm in the right place. I just can't interact with anything. Alright, what the fuck do we do? Beach? Dock? Buffet? Do I go back to our rooms? Because I've already been here already. Them all empty. Something left to eat all of it. Just going back to eating. Nothing left. We're staying out in the rain like that. Huh. Maybe go back to the cabins? I think we might. I don't know what else to do. Where do I go? Just laying there. If you want for her turning to lean away from you, you get close. You think she's asleep? Maybe at the edge here? Because the only person we're missing is Ryan, right? But I don't see him anywhere. Where do we... I'm actually... What do we do? I'm actually lost. I'm lost in a fucking visual novel. I know I'm bad at direction, but holy shit, this is a visual novel. Maybe lobby? Oh, okay. Hey, over here. Ryan, where have you been? Dude, something bad happening. I know. Thank you. Sounds actually making sense. I thought I was losing my goddamn mind. So you noticed too? How weird everyone's acting, right? Yeah. And how the resort is falling apart. The weather's going crazy. Everyone's on the island is unresponsive. Oh. I just saw that my cooler is empty. I hadn't noticed those yet. That's all it took you to start questioning things? Well, everything was empty. The minibar, the fridge, the cooler, they drank it all. I was mad at first, but then I started getting worried that they were getting sick or could have been OD'd or something. I didn't know where Bonnie went, but I heard Carmen coughing in the dunny. Shit, is she okay? Well, that's the thing is, when I asked her what's wrong, she seemed sober. She wasn't slurring her words. She didn't even have any trouble seeing straight or walking. She was acting just fine, physically anyways. Are you saying are you sure she drank anything? Well, it couldn't have been Bonnie. Carmen had been dismissing me and talked about how thirsty she was. And even tried drinking from the faucet. Right, same here. I heard some large gurgling noise outside my room. Turns out McCoy had dragged a water truck from God knows where. The minibar was empty too. And when I checked on him, making him stop, he got aggressive. Exactly. I asked if she was okay, and she said we should get a medic. But she started screaming at him to get out and leave her alone. I'd like to go find Vonnie, but do I answer honestly with you? Promise me not to get mad. Ryan. With how everyone's acting, I kind of assumed it was a zombie apocalypse or something. Ryan. You've watched as many zombie flicks as I have. You know the responsible thing to do in a situation would to be isolate myself from a possible threat. Dude. I did that in front of Vonnie though. When I saw her at the buffet, I ran. I mean, that wasn't her. Wasn't it? I don't know. Besides, even the vet is not a zombie thing. Do you really think it's the best idea to mess with them? We don't know what's causing them to act like that. What if it's contagious or, I don't know, something in the water? That's fair. I want to get them back to normal and off this island as much as you do. But I don't know if anything... I don't know if trying to interact with them on their levels to play. At least not until we're sure we're talking to the same person we came here with. You're right. Well, that's a first. We should get somewhere safer and regroup. Slow down. I'm still waiting for you are agreeing with me. I don't want to leave everyone alone here now. We can step one of the boats, force them on, and drive back to the mainland to get help for the rest of the resort. You know how to drive a platoon, right? No. Fuck, same here. License for a car is probably close enough. Alright, then lead the way. I think our boat is destroyed. The boat's ruined all over. The hell? Is the rain really that bad? Maybe. But it doesn't look like the storm's damage. Doesn't look like storm damage. Oh, what about the Fury? Someone's gotta... June, hey. Someone's gonna come for us, right? We can still... I can... I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry, I'm just... What do we do? Come on, we're not supposed to cry now. We're on vacation. You of all of us should know that. Well, I think this stopped being a vacation, more becoming a cult. We never did very well with the tour guide anyway. We'll figure it out as we go, yeah? He's gonna die, ain't he? Yeah. Atta girl. You mentioned something about Fury, right? Right, the Fury. What did Vaughn say? The Fury comes back on... 3 days, right? So we start on Friday. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I'm pretty sure. I think it was Monday. Yeah, Monday. So we have to do is... wait out one more night. Tomorrow morning, we'll grab Vaughn and McCoy. And whatever we can get... and whoever we can get them in the boat. Right, then we'll be able to be radio for help. See? Knew you'd be figuring something out. I was hoping I can survive by then. That doesn't... if it doesn't, then this business was doomed to begin with. You really shouldn't have cheaped out and booked the hotel car and recommended instead. And now, to be fair, they did have some good deals there. And now we know why. In any case, we shouldn't stay out in the rain for too long. Come on, maybe my cabin is still safe enough to pass through the night. Sunday night. And this is where shit goes to the van, ain't it? Honestly, I do think that they should probably have something to barricade themselves in with. Like a shelf or a cabinet. Just to be safe. Right? I can't sleep. You're worried about the plan? It's just, you're not. I don't want to be left behind. Oh yeah, that's why we're waking up before the Fury gets here, ain't it? Not the Fury, it's... we're not the weird ones, right? June. Someone's trying to swim in a 10 centimeter fountain. You'll be fine. Yeah, but I know what they're doing is weird and it doesn't make sense. But what if they know something we don't? What if we're the ones in the wrong? I don't want to regret losing them. I don't want them to do something stupid while I'm not looking or be left here to rot. But I regret even more if I lost them. If I had a chance to stay. You said McCoy was aggressive with you when you tried talking to him, right? Yeah. How about Carmen? Was she open as she usually was? No. Vaughn? Was what she doing okay to you? But what about... They're the one cutting you out and pushing you away. You tried your best to talk to them. Maybe you should still get them the hell away from this island if you can. But if what they're doing would cause them to harm you, then that's not normal. I'd rather leave them behind than stick around with people who think treating a friend like that is okay. What if he's the mastermind behind all this? We'll do what we can to bring as many people as possible back, obviously. We're going to help them. But I doubt they want us to be dragged down with them if they refuse. Okay. I trust you. Sleep tight. We'll get them home. I'm sure of it. Night, Ray. Ow! I can save! Is this where we die? Oh. This seems more like a mess than before. Ryan? Ryan! Ryan! Carmen! Vaughn! McCoy! McCoy, you're... McCoy? McCoy, don't go there! Hey, listen to me! I don't know what you've gotten into you or why you're acting like this, but you need to listen! Please! Please, I just want my friends back! Don't... No. Are they all gone? Is that Ryan? Ryan? No, we're going back. I ain't falling down. You crazy? I'm out to sleep. Good luck with seeing. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate you stopping by. I really do. Please take care. Shall stay hydrated and I'll see you next time. Oh wait, were we supposed to follow them? Damn. Oh. Was it 2 hours just like both endings? I was like, I thought it'd be taking like 3 hours for me at least. Well, good night, Nebula. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it lots. Well, we're gonna continue. I guess what happens if we choose the other option? What happened to Orion? The ending felt so abrupt. Is Ryan long gone too? Like, why is he just standing there? What if he was the mastermind? Like, that could be a possibility. He could have been a mastermind the whole time. Oh shit. Pressed the wrong option. I pressed the wrong option again. Whoops. I pressed the wrong option again, I'm an idiot. Oh, I need to do that again. Fuck. Like... What if it was Ryan that was, like, the quote-unquote mastermind behind this whole thing? I mean, the fact that he's, like, the only normal one in the quote-unquote in the group that isn't affected of whatever this virus or whatever is going on. And the fact that he's like out of here, like he's not even here. And he's the only one that isn't in the waters. Like he's the only one who isn't like going into the water. I don't think. Yeah, he's just standing there. Like even our protagonist is like in the water technically. Alright, we're following them, I guess. That's it? Huh? What's the story about? I'm so confused now. Like, did Ryan survive? I guess he did survive on both of them, probably. Wait. What if we start a new game? I think this changed, right? The background's a lot different now. Bad company requests bad good character. Would anything change? I am so confused. What's going on? No. I think I need an explanation video. I am so confused. What's going on? So basically we have a vacation And then all of our friends, because maybe like there's something in the water or something. Well, technically in the sea, but you know. And the fact that after like drinks of water, I take a drink of water. And there's like a metal or glass tableware that went out of their throats when they choke it out. Does Ronnie have like, I think like the closest thing we have to an explanation is maybe they are indulging in their quote-unquote weaknesses or phobias, because I think Ronnie is like very much about food disorders because she's eating so much. I'm so confused. I am so confused. Actually, I'm gonna look for an explanation video. I'm so confused. Like, I don't know what to make to that with that ending. I really don't. I feel like maybe it's like exaggerating like people's weaknesses and like past pains, like eating disorders, depression, and all that stuff. It turns into 100. But after that, I just don't know what's going on. Let's see. Alright, let's see this. Is this AI? Fucking guy. But I really need to know what the fuck is what happened. It's so confusing. Can you hear the chicken? Can you hear that chicken? Sorry. I'm so confused. What the hell? What was all that? I don't understand. Alright, chicken. We have a chicken now. The chicken is back. So we're watching from Recap Wizard. I think this might be AI. But this is the only explanation video there is, I'm pretty sure. So let's watch it.
Embark on a vacation to an Australian island, setting the stage for what appears to be a horror narrative. The game, Rot in Paradise, comes from the creator of Dead Plate and carries an ominous warning. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. The protagonist arrives at the meeting point, worried about being late. They encounter June first, who initially seems alarmed by their presence, but quickly covers it up. Veo appears next, expressing relief at seeing the protagonist. Veo demonstrates how well they know the protagonist, accurately predicting their behavior of staying up all night before an exciting event, oversleeping, panicking, and rushing to arrive. Veo mentions having packed things the protagonist likely forgot. Two more friends join the group, Carmen, nicknamed Carmi, and another called Junebug. The friends discuss their excitement about having all 5 of them together, mentioning how rare it is due to their various responsibilities. Ryan arrives last, completing the group of 5 friends. They spot their boat to the island, which is impressively nicer than expected. The group then heads to check in at the resort. While one friend handles check-in, the others discuss their vacation plans. These include napping on luxury furniture, going to the beach, scuba diving, and inspecting room quality. They learn that check-in has been pushed back a couple hours.
Okay.
Friends decide to explore while waiting. 2 of them head off together and approach a drink station. An aggressive stranger grabs one friend's wrist, and when the other intervenes, the stranger splashes a drink on them before fleeing. The group reunites after check-in is completed. They discuss the incident with the stranger, with some jokingly suggesting violence against the aggressor. They head to their cabins to clean up and settle in. In their room, Carmen reaches for drinks in the minibar, but another friend stops her, warning about hidden charges. Ryan reveals he brought his own personal minibar in a cooler, drawing criticism for bringing cheap canned beer instead of enjoying resort cocktails. One friend expresses feeling cabin fever and wants to go sightseeing, while another insists they should unpack first. They discuss the ferry schedule. It returns Monday at 11 a.m. and leaves at noon, emphasizing the importance of being packed on time. Left unsupervised while one friend showers, the protagonist decides to explore the resort alone, despite instructions to unpack. They access a map with fast travel options to various locations, including the lobby, buffet, and beach. The protagonist explores the buffet area, wondering if the resort accommodates Vaughn's dietary restrictions.
Oh.
They visit the bar, noting that Carmen would have enjoyed the cocktails and atmosphere.
Dietary
The
restrictions.
protagonist finds the beach surprisingly empty. As the sun begins to set and the ferry has already departed, they decide to head back to find their friends. The night is just beginning, with potential party activities ahead. There's debate about whether sharks are pack animals and if they're local to their vacation area. Someone mentions sharks waiting offshore at night, leaving only guts to wash up on shore. The conversation takes a lighthearted yet macabre turn as they joke about appetite and sharks not standing a chance against them. One vacationer expresses gratitude for the getaway, mentioning they needed this break after helping a cousin who recently left a problematic friend group. The group toasts to recharging for the rest of the vacation.
Is like the cousin kind of a reference to our
About someone being
protagonist, to
difficult
June?
in planning, which creates momentary tension. An incident occurs where someone appears to choke on something metallic and sharp. The person is escorted out of the bar by staff. The remaining friends debate about what they saw, with some insisting it looked like metal, while others are skeptical. The strange occurrence leads the group to decide on ending the night early, planning to save energy for the remaining 2 days. The next day, Saturday, brings beach time. Two friends bond over critiquing terrible cocktails that Carmen ordered and abandoned. They mock the drink's qualities and prices, finding joy in their shared disdain. The conversation shifts to observing someone swimming far out in the ocean. Friends discuss beach activities. One wears a swimsuit for looks rather than swimming and considers building sandcastles. They note Ryan is being a party pooper and jokingly declare it a federal offense, especially since it's supposedly his birthday, though it's actually in March. They playfully plot to bury him in the sand. More beach banter ensues as friends tease each other about sunbathing, swimming capabilities, and potential activities like chicken fights. While relaxing, they spot an older man struggling in the water. Initially, there's hesitation to help, despite one having lifeguard experience. Finally, someone goes to assist the struggling man. After rescuing the old man, the rescuer returns confused by the man's bizarre, ungrateful behavior. The man had made cryptic comments about taking back what's rightfully hers. The friends check if the rescuer is okay, while trying to make sense of the strange encounter. Saturday night brings increasing strangeness. There are disjointed comments about a ship sinking and the old man possibly being a passenger. One person complains of a headache and seeks water, noticing the weather has unexpectedly changed. Things escalate as McCoy begins acting erratically with a water jug, making cryptic statements about everyone becoming water and causing injury. This creates tension and separation among the friends. Others begin exhibiting strange water-obsessed behavior. A search for friends and resort staff yields only more strange encounters. The protagonist finds Vaughn eating seafood at an odd hour despite dietary restrictions. Attempts to stay with other friends are rebuffed with uncharacteristic hostility. Carmen makes concerning comments about Ryan, freaking out. By Sunday morning, the situation has deteriorated further. The protagonist discovers Carmen standing in the rain, behaving oddly and dismissively. McCoy has disappeared, presumably to the water. A search of the resort reveals other guests shaking and in apparent pain, with an emptied buffet suggesting excessive consumption. Someone mentions needing to give fish back, while others stand eerily in the rain. The resort appears to be deteriorating, with parts of it falling apart. McCoy, one of the guests, is found outside in the pouring rain near the water. A character warns McCoy that it's dangerous to be near the waters, but McCoy insists on staying outside. There's reference to an argument from the previous night. The narrator notes they haven't seen Ryan, who might still be normal, and decides to head back to the lobby. Ryan appears and confirms that something bad is happening at the resort. Both Ryan and the narrator are relieved to find someone else who notices how strangely everyone is acting. Ryan had started questioning things when he found his cooler empty, while the narrator had already noticed the resort falling apart, the river going wild, and unresponsive island residents. Ryan explains that all the alcohol containers were empty. He became concerned about Vani and Carmen possibly being sick. When checking on Carmen, who was coughing, she appeared physically fine, but kept dismissing Ryan and talking about being thirsty, even trying to drink from the faucet. The narrator shares a similar experience with McCoy, who was aggressively drinking from a water jug. Carmen had screamed at Ryan to leave her alone. Ryan admits he thought it might be a zombie apocalypse situation and isolated himself as a precaution, believing the other's strange behavior might be contagious. They agree that caution is necessary before interacting with the others. Ryan suggests getting to safety and regrouping, proposing they take a boat back to the mainland to get help. However, they discover all the boats are ruined, not from storm damage, but something else. The narrator becomes emotional about the situation. Ryan comforts them, and they remember the ferry comes on Monday. They plan to survive one more night, then grab their friends and get them to the boat in the morning. They decide to seek shelter from the rain.
But if
Later
it goes
that night,
affected, why would the
narrator
fair
expresses
not be
concern
affected?
about potentially being left behind and losing their friends. Ryan reminds them that their friend's behavior is abnormal, pointing out how they've been pushing the narrator away and becoming aggressive, which isn't how friends should act. The narrator discovers their friends are all heading back to the sea. McCoy is trying to swallow chains, presumably to sink himself. The narrator realizes someone had tried to make a girl swallow metal for the same purpose. The friends appear to be constantly consuming liquids and look dried out. The story concludes with ambiguous endings that feel abrupt. A helicopter is heard, confirming this was a real event.
That did not explain anything. That did not explain anything at all. That explains nothing.
Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Book of Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 33. Upon booting up Rotten Paradise and starting a new game, you will see this quote. Oftentimes, when a piece of media includes a quote right off the bat, I find myself not even remembering it as the story unfolds. However, just this once, I found myself paying attention. October's finally here! Hooray! Which means that Studio Investigave's newest game, Rotten Paradise, is finally out. Leading up to the release, I've been so excited to sink my teeth into a new horror game, especially since this one takes place in summer. A nice bridge between the end of the warmer months here in the northern hemisphere and autumn, if I do say so myself. Once the game launched, I immediately downloaded it, pulled up my coconut-shaped cup filled with I was left so unbelievably confused, and I know I'm not the only one who was left this way. With Rachel draws this from the studio saying that they will explain what the game was about near the end of this month, and having some time to sit with the game and collect my thoughts, I figured now would be a good time for me to share my own opinions on what I thought this game was about. From here on out, there will be spoilers for Rotten Paradise, along with potential is really about. Before we jump into any potentially heavy metaphors this game is hiding, why don't we try to decipher what is actually happening on our screens first? Throughout the game, the various side and main characters allude to some mysterious entity known only as her and she, before ultimately walking off into the ocean. So I was originally under the impression that this was some sort of siren situation. Sirens have been a part of fiction for a very long time. I mean, the Odyssey, which was made in like the 8th century BC, even features them. They're often depicted as looking at least somewhat like a human woman, which would make sense for the people at the resort to call the entity a she. However, I think it's more likely that the she in question is actually the ocean. We never actually see any sort of entity in the game, but the ocean can almost always be seen or referenced in some sort of way throughout the game. Returning things or appeasing her is a reoccurring line of dialogue from various characters, and I believe it makes sense why they're doing that if they're trying to become one with the ocean. Eating pieces of metal will guarantee they sink to the ocean floor faster.
Oh.
Eating the seafood laid out as a buffet and walking out into the water might be seen as a way of returning the dead sea life to the ocean. Drinking excessive amounts of water or laying around in it often might make the person doing it feel like they're closer to the ocean, since they're absorbing so much water, whether through just their skin or by drinking it. But why are they doing this? Is the ocean calling to them or something, you may be asking? I believe the reason why they're trying to do all this has actually been revealed to us before we even started playing the game. On the warning screen, one of the warnings listed is mass hysteria/compulsion. This article from the National Library of Medicine defines mass hysteria as a social phenomenon consists of collective anxiety due to a perceived threat and can culminate in a cascade of symptoms suggestive of organic disease without an identifiable cause, which fits the situation of Rotten Paradise quite well. Let's try this out for size. At an island resort in Australia, the guests slowly succumb to mass hysteria in which they are convinced that the storms that roll over are indicative that the ocean is going to take back what's rightfully hers. They try to appease the ocean by consuming excessive water, binge eating seafood, eating metal, and soaking in water for long periods of time, with all of them eventually walking into the ocean to presumably cut their lives short. The main character ultimately chooses whether or not to join in the madness depending on whether or not she wants to be left behind by her friends that are hysterical. I don't know about you, but I think that makes a lot more sense than a siren or the ocean trying to lure a bunch of island resort guests to their own deaths.
Yes, that makes sense.
Now that we have that settled, I think it's time to address what you're likely here for. Rotten Paradise is a metaphor, but what of? I've seen many different interpretations of the meaning of this game, from addiction to social isolation to many others in between. I think that all of these are fascinating ideas worthy of exploration. However, there is one I find most appealing. I believe that Rotten Paradise is about unhealthy friendships and how detrimental they can be. When we first start the game, it's not immediately obvious what the true nature of June's friends are. Most unhealthy friendships aren't often bad right off the bat, or at least in my experiences. Though there are signs. McCoy calls June, quote, really lazy and messy and forgetful in the prologue when she mentions that she was just worried about being late. She waves off this remark and says it's okay, but it's hard to ignore the face she makes when she says that, which looks like she's uncomfortable or maybe even hurt by it. June also says, I knew something was off for Vaughn to be that happy to see me anyway, after finding out that her and McCoy had made bets to see who would arrive last to the docks. Which, again, could just be a joke, but she does make the same uncomfortable expression when she says this about Vonnie. If you choose to interact with the waterfall fountain in the lobby, McCoy will attempt to push June into it, which makes her visibly upset. Interacting with Vani will prompt June to say, Vaughn treats chewing out underpaid employees like it's an art form, which just further shows how she seemingly enjoys hurting people for no reason other than for her own pleasure. We don't start to see signs of Carmen's unhealthy behaviors until near the end of Friday night. After we see a woman coughing up a piece of metal, June is quick to point it out to the group. Everyone else, with the exception of Ryan, is dismissive of her feelings, with Carmen even suggesting that she hallucinated the whole thing happening because of excessive drinking. I've seen some people call this gaslighting, but I think that's a stretch since it seems more like Carmen is just trying to dismiss what June saw rather than make her feel crazy, if that makes sense. It's worth mentioning that before the woman starts coughing up the chunk of metal, June has a conversation with her friends about how a cousin of hers parted ways with a bad friend group that she supposedly should have left a long time ago. Bit on the nose, huh? This serves as not only a parallel to June herself, but also foreshadowing for her choice to come, whether or not she wants to stay with her friends when their toxicity reaches its peak. Another thing I'd like to address before we move on is this interesting, reoccurring motif about sharks. I think that the sharks are another foreshadowing to how June's friend group will be descending into danger here soon. They're brought up quite a bit on the first day, and we even get some interesting dialogue about them, such as, are sharks even pack animals? And I don't think they're even local to the area. Sharks can just be the animal, but another meaning for this word is a person who takes advantage of others. Sure, the animals don't hunt in packs, but June's friends all move as a pack, and they also had to travel here, meaning that they're not local to the area either. There's also multiple times a line referencing someone being eaten by sharks is brought up, which I think is kind of foreshadowing to how June will be chewed out by her friends on Saturday night. Speaking of Saturday night, this is truly when we start to see the true nature of June's friends. In this metaphor, I think the mass hysteria that is starting to take over them isn't exactly a mass panic, but rather just a placeholder for some sort of stressful experience the group is going through. Whatever it is, the more stressed the group gets, the more their exterior friendliness begins to deteriorate. McCoy during the day on Friday said that he doesn't exactly encourage violence, yet his first instinct when June sees him binge drinking is to hit her. When she rightfully goes to Bonnie to seek shelter and comfort from what McCoy did, we find her binge eating before yelling at June. Eating disorders are incredibly complex things, and let me be clear, having one does not make you a better or worse person. We don't see this behavior from Vonnie before this night, which makes me think that when experiencing stress, she might rely on binge eating to cope. What I do think she does wrong, though, is lashing out at June when she expresses concern about McCoy being physically violent towards her. It seems as though her temper towards underpaid employees was directed at June for a change, which is not at all healthy, to say the least. Carmen's case is a bit stranger than the other two, since she doesn't physically or verbally attack June right off the bat when encountering her. Instead, she seems very defensive and almost sympathetic. She tells June about how she supposedly got into some sort of spat with Ryan, which made me initially think that maybe Ryan has started going crazy with everyone else, leaving Carmen in a very fragile state. But upon meeting up with Ryan, you find out that this isn't the case at all. I think that Carmen's unhealthy trait that surfaces with stress is being needlessly snappy, defensive, and even obscuring certain facts about events in order to make sure that the person listening to her sides with her.
That makes
and of course, the list wouldn't be complete without Ryan. Ryan throughout the game is very obviously not like June's other friends. He wears a jacket and sweatpants to a summer island resort. He hangs out in the background of a lot of group shots, and he even sides with June when the bizarre events start happening. Hell, he's never hostile towards her and even helps her along in the story. When experiencing stress with the rest of the group, his first reaction is to self-isolate. When the group falls into noticeable disrepair to the point where he can't ignore it anymore, he ultimately gets dragged down with McCoy, Vonnie, and Carmen. Why? Well, June told us why. He's easier to bully and peer pressure than any of the other people in the
that
group.
was him? I thought that was...
When experiencing stress with the rest of the group, his first reaction is to self-isolate. When the group falls into noticeable disrepair to the point where he can't ignore it anymore, he ultimately gets dragged down with McCoy, Vonnie, and Carmen.
I thought that was McCoy. That was Ryan?
Why? Well, June told us why. He's easier to bully and peer pressure than any of the other people in the group. Who's to say that the rest of the group didn't do just that to keep Ryan from leaving? He tells June that he'd rather leave the group behind than stick with them knowing that they treat June terribly, but his actions speak far louder than his words. In a way, the quote from the Bible at the beginning of the game could apply to both Ryan and June in the way of their friends corrupting them. Ryan says that he wouldn't want to stay with people that hurt June, and yet he does it anyway, presumably under their influence. June, on the other hand, feels as though she should stay with the group despite the harm they've caused her. Ultimately, it's June's decision whether or not she wants to stay with them or finally walk away from the friends that have caused her so much distress and pain. If she chooses to stay, it seems that she does so more for Ryan than anyone else, since we see her holding on to only him in the ending where she does stay. The rest of the group might be beyond saving to her, but perhaps in her eyes she still sees potential in Ryan. On the other hand, if she chooses to leave, June is alone and never sees what happened to her friends. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes with cutting off friends that aren't healthy for you. Sometimes you'll be left isolated and unaware of the path that your old friends ended up walking when you leave them behind. A tragic but surprisingly realistic end for this story. Rotten Paradise isn't a perfect game, but the meaning behind the events that occur both in a literal and metaphorical sense have been on my mind ever since I finished both of the endings the day the game was released. The open-endedness of the game leaves for a lot of room for many different interpretations of it, so I hope you find mine at least a little bit compelling, and if not, then I hope you find one that satisfies you. If you find yourself relating to June in your own friendships, then I gently encourage you to re-examine the relationships you have. June's story may be tragic, but yours doesn't have to be. Please take care of yourself and remember that you are never alone. There will always be people who can help if you have the courage to ask for it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate.
I guess that would make sense, like in a metaphorically way, like her friends being toxic and all that. I do think it's like a mix of hysteria, and also the fact that they're I guess the eating disorders, the things they have that is like dragging them down, that they're trying to hide, is like is up by to like 100. Like it's in their face. Like the fact that like all of a sudden Vaughn is like binge eating and all that stuff. I didn't realize that Ryan was the one who actually joins them at the end. I thought it was like McCoy. But no, it was Ryan. Huh. Damn. I had him all wrong. I had him all wrong. Holy shit. Huh. So it's kind of like a metaphor of like toxic friendships in a way. Huh. That kind of makes everything make a bit more sense of what's happening. But I do feel like maybe the friends, like I did see it as more of like friendly banter, but I could definitely see why it could be like toxic friendship as well. Because I missed the fountain thing, because why would he do that? I didn't think he would actually do that, but no, he did it. He tried to push her off. It's like, that's kind of weird. And then he said he's like, no violence, but afterwards he's like, his first response to her stopping him from binge drinking was to slap her. Huh. Interesting. Huh. That's very interesting. Holy moly. I will say the ending was very, very questionable. It was like, I kind of wish there was more to it. Not gonna lie. I see it's like, I mean, I know it's supposed to be like open ended, but it feels like way too empty. If it makes sense, you know. It feels like it's like you're left with more questions than answers most of the time. But I guess it's more like it's just there to like make sure you like. It is just there to see what you can find out. But yeah. How about we watch a true crime case? Cops frames that for murder, doesn't know 3-year-old saw everything. Or 30-year-old got away with sister's murder. Let's watch this one. I just wanna see.
I know for a fact that she's
Since we have plenty of time. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. Since we have plenty of time, that game was a lot shorter than I thought. So this is from Unseen. 30-year-old thinks he got away with sister's murder. Well done.
I want you to start CPR, okay?
No, I know for a fact that she's dead because I.
Do you want to go ahead and try? It might still help, okay?
No, I don't think it'll help. No, I don't think it'll help.
This is 13-year-old Paris Bennett. He is refusing to perform CPR on his 4-year-old sister.
Why?
The 911 operator pleads with him to try to save his sister's life, but the real reason the older brother is not cooperating is because he is hiding the most disturbing secret. 5 hours before the 13-year-old called 911, Ella was living a peaceful, happy life with her older brother and their single mother, Charity Bennett. The two siblings were each other's best friends. The big brother was always looking out for his little sister, often watching her while she slept and protecting her with all of his love. The little girl looked up to her big brother and trusted him with all her heart, but on the night of February 4th, 2007, everything changed.
Is it out of jealousy, maybe? Like, is this a single mom situation, so the kid could feel like the baby sister's having a lot more attention than he was? Because I feel like he was a bit rough on the kid. I mean, he is a child himself, but he does seem a bit more rough around the baby than it should be.
That evening, the children's babysitter left early while their mother was still at work, leaving the 4-year-old and the 13-year-old home alone.
Why would the babysitter leave early?
11:42 p.m., 911 received the most disturbing call from the big brother.
Is she bleeding anywhere?
Yeah, she's bleeding all over the bed.
As police and medical personnel rushed to the scene, the 911 operator was able to convince the older brother to perform CPR on his sister.
Put your hands on her chest and then blow 2 breaths in her mouth, okay?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But the problem is, Paris is lying to the operator. He is only pretending to give his little sister CPR.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Jesus.
The year is 1999, in the quiet town of Abilene, Texas.
That kid's a good ass actor. Like, you would think he's like panicking, but apparently, I guess he's not.
Bennett is raising her son, 6-year-old Paris Bennett. From an early age, Paris shows signs of being gifted and highly intelligent, with an IQ of 141. He excels in school and is adored by his teachers and classmates. To Charity, he is the perfect child, and they are the perfect family. But life hasn't always been easy. Before Paris was even born in 1993, his father suffered a severe psychological breakdown, leaving a young, pregnant Charity to raise a child on her own. Left without a partner by her side and with little support from her own mother, Kyla, Charity stood alone. But instead of breaking, she found courage. She poured everything she had into raising her baby boy, determined to give him the love and stability she never had. In spite of their challenges, things were looking up. Charity and Paris developed a strong, beautiful bond as a family of 2. 4 years go by, and now, an unexpected new chapter is about to begin. The family is about to grow, and this time, with a new baby sister for Paris.
Like, is she still with the husband? Or is it like with someone else?
April 12th, 2002, Ella Bennett is born.
I remember putting Ella in his arms, and he was looking down at her, and I'm like waiting to see what the reaction was going to be. And he had this huge smile on his face, and he said to me, he goes, "Oh, Mama, she's beautiful."
As her kids grow older, Charity can't help but notice the stark differences between her 2 children. Ella is lively, spunky, social.
Aw, she's so cute.
Up an entire room.
Aww.
Paris, on the other hand, is more quiet and introverted. He often keeps to himself and enjoys his time alone, with reading and drawing as his hobbies. But beneath his calm and independent nature, Paris beautifully embraces his role as an older brother. He loves his little sister with his whole heart, and the two become inseparable.
Ella absolutely adored Paris. Anything Paris did, Ella had to do. Paris would pick her clothes out every day. He was her fashion consultant, she said.
This is Paris Bennett reporting live. This is Ella's Ballpit reporting live. Ella's Ballpit. Suspect of the dirty diaper. Okay, creating dirty diaper.
Charity, now being a single mom of 2 kids, has even more on her plate. She works 2 jobs waiting tables just to make ends meet. The pressure is high, but her one goal is to do everything she can to give Paris and Ella the best life they deserve. Even with her busy work schedule, she dedicates all of her free time to her kids. Life is good for the small family, but things take a disturbing turn on February 4th, 2007. It's Super Bowl Sunday, an exciting and extremely busy night for sports fans. Charity, who works at a local sports bar, is scheduled to work a double shift to keep up with the large number of customers, so she hires a babysitter to look after the now 13-year-old Paris and 4-year-old Ella. The bar is completely packed, and Charity works hard throughout the evening, with just a few hours left until she can clock out and go back home to her kids. But, suddenly, cops walk into the bar and start asking the staff about Charity.
Around midnight, cops are at the front door.
What happened? It seemed like he really did like his sister a lot. Like, what was like the thing that snapped him?
They went to the manager's office. They called my name. They told me that my daughter had been hurt. And I was like, you need to take me to Ellen now.
Charity is in a state of shock. They quickly leave the bar, and police escort her home. Her mind is racing. She attempts to stay calm, still not knowing what happened to her children, and specifically, Ella. Charity tries her best to not imagine the worst, but the cops' serious looks, combined with their unsettling quietness, sends a chill down her spine. As they finally arrive, Charity...
Why did the babysitter leave though? Because like, unless they had an emergency, there really is no reason for the babysitter to leave early without, you know, at least informing the parents beforehand.
Charity sees her house is blocked off with...
Hello, Haksha. Hello! Welcome. How are you? It's been a while. We're watching a true crime video. Apparently a 50-year-old brother killed his sister for some reason. We're gonna find out why. How are you?
Caution tape and surrounded by dozens of people.
Police everywhere. News trucks, neighbors. The entire street was lit up.
At that moment, Charity
Layla's
knows something
scared.
terrible has happened.
Say hi to Layla for me. Give her extra pets.
Unable to be left in the dark for any longer, she pleads with the cops, begging them to just tell her what they seem so afraid to reveal. And that's when her entire world flips upside down. Ella is dead. Charity is at a complete loss as she watches Ella's body being carried out of their family home. The sight is too much to bear.
She was in a body bag.
Damn, that's gonna...
It was zipped up to her chin. She had blood coming out of her mouth.
I cannot imagine what she's going through. That sounds painful to go through with a parent. Like, seeing your own kid in a body bag. She got, is she an outside cat now? Is she an outside cat now, or is she just like to like escape once in a while?
I started screaming that I was sorry, that I wasn't there. They took her away.
And then I just remember just collapsing.
After seeing Ella's lifeless body, she finally musters up the courage to turn to the detectives and ask, "Where's my son? What happened to Paris?" They tell her Paris is already at the police station, waiting for her. She lets out a sigh of relief hearing that Paris is alive and well. But as she gets into the police car to go and reunite with her son, something feels off. There's a coldness in the air. Anxiously waiting to arrive, Charity's mind is racing with questions.
Do we ever... I know it's like really early in this video, but do we ever get to see why the babysitter left early? Like, what was the reason? Like, I'm not blaming the babysitter whatsoever, but I'm just really curious why they've never mentioned like the babysitter leaving early. I think most babysitters, if they are to like leave early because of like a family emergency or something, they will at least inform parents beforehand, right? Like I'm not weird about this, am I? He's only in Torquay, so that freaked me out. But maybe she'll be back soon. Just does she want to explore or something, or could be curiosity. Cats like to explore a lot, I'm pretty sure.
And what's even more disturbing is that deep down, something about this moment feels oddly familiar to Charity, an unnerving feeling history is repeating itself. And that's because 30 years ago, when Charity was only a child, her family was torn apart by murder.
What?
Cobb County, Georgia.
Damn, what a twist!
1980.
What a
Charity was
twist!
6 years old when her father and mother, James and Kyla, ran a booming trucking empire. They dealt with national shipping and cargo, an industry bringing in billions per year. But behind their seemingly perfect life and success, their marriage was deteriorating. After years of chaos, their volatile relationship ended in divorce, leaving their only child, Charity, caught in the middle of their battles. However, Charity's parents surprisingly reconnected on March 9th, 1980, and decided to fly to Las Vegas, remarrying in a whirlwind ceremony. For a second, Charity hoped their life would find stability once again, but on March 11th, 1980,
but they divorced for a reason.
After they exchanged their vows, her father, James, was found dead in their family home. When authorities arrived on the scene, they noted 3 gunshot wounds to his head, heart, and back. James' murder was clearly a targeted attack, and suspicions immediately fell on the newlywed, Charity's own mother, Kyla. Speculation grew when Kyla's name was put back in James's will after their sudden remarriage, because this meant that if anything happened to him, Kyla would inherit control of the entire company, along with his fortune. Investigators also considered whether his murder was maybe a professional hit tied to organized crime, and from there, the whispers grew louder. Rumors swirled that Kyla had allegedly paid $50,000 to have him executed. Detectives were quick to question her about the murder contract, and Kyla admitted she had asked about it, but claimed it was only out of curiosity, without any other lead.
Sure, let me not want to murder my husband, but hey, I'm just kind of curious. How much would you pay to like take him out? That's not something you ask with curiosity, bestie. That is the last thing you should be asking about curiosity. If I were outside, I heard you call a bell if I heard about to terrify. I guess she ain't going outside anytime soon. I guess she had her fill. She's done as well. She's like, nah, I don't want to be outside no more.
Kyla quickly became their main suspect, and prosecution spent the next 4 months building a case against her before finally taking her to trial. For 11 days, jurors listened to all the allegations and the evidence, or lack thereof, and the verdict came back as not guilty. Kyla walked out of court a free woman. In the eyes of many, she had beaten the odds. The killer was never officially found, and the weapon never recovered. Kyla returned to her life of luxury. Now in complete control of their business empire, she began raising Charity on her own. After her mother's acquittal, Charity grew up haunted by the loss of her father. Everyone around her believed that her own mother was her father's killer, and as much as everyone tried to shield Charity from that possibility, it followed her. Her classmates would taunt her over and over again.
Kids would come up and say,
yes.
"Oh, I hear your mommy killed your daddy."
Wow. You enough from a kid as well. Yeah, like if anything went to public, especially in court, yeah, it's gonna be rooming around as like the latest rumors for kids, unfortunately. I have a spoiler for ZA. I don't have money for ZA, so you can just spoil. I don't have money for ZA.
It was a constant presence in my life.
Meanwhile, at home, Charity felt neglected by her mother. With her father's absence, her mother, Kyla, fell into a lavish and reckless lifestyle, drinking and doing drugs, all while running the family business, leaving no time for little Charity. Kyla continues insisting that she did not murder her husband, Charity's father, and that she had been framed, but it didn't matter what the truth was, because the relationship between mother and daughter remained strained.
Understandable.
As the years went by, Charity focused on her education, eventually graduating from high school with honors. But in spite of her achievements, the love she craved from her mother was still missing. Beneath her calm exterior, she was hiding a secret. The pressure, the loss of her father, and the years of loneliness finally caught up to her, and she desperately looked for a way to silence the noise around her. For the next 4 years, Charity would struggle with an addiction to drugs, but at age 18, she decided to start fighting back and got clean. With a new lease on life, Charity got back on her feet and obtained a university degree in family development psychology. Her quest for purpose grew even stronger when she found out she was pregnant with a baby boy. Then and there, a new chapter had begun. Paris was born, and later, her baby girl, Ella. Even though motherhood gave Charity a second chance, she was never able to fully move on and heal from the trauma she went through as a young girl. The relationship between Charity and her own mom, Kyla, remained complicated, and the pain caused by her father's death
Well is alive. Oh, really? Damn. Man is really immortal.
echoed throughout the years. Now, the same pain is back and stronger than ever. Decades later, on the night of February 4th, 2007, as she kisses Ella's forehead for the last time before the little girl gets taken away in a body bag. Hours after Ella's body is taken away for examination, Charity sits in the back of the cop car and waits anxiously as they pull up to the police station. The tension is palpable, and she doesn't know what to expect. Once they arrive, she is led into an interrogation room, and now, the first time since Ella's death, she sees her son, Paris, standing at the far end of the room.
And when I saw him, the only thing I felt was so happy to see my child. Because he was the only one left. I started hugging him and just cried forever. And then I realized at some point that he wasn't hugging me back.
Oh.
And that's when everything stopped making sense.
Guess he's got guilty conscience.
His toward his own mother and his sister's death
Or
feels
not.
deeply unnerving to Charity. Something is not right at all. As detectives take over and begin investigating, they have no idea how disturbing the crime and Paris really are. That night, at around 10:30 p.m., about 2 hours before the 911 call, the children were at home when Paris suddenly pulled the babysitter aside.
Okay, now we get to know what the fuck a babysitter was doing. A dude donated his robes to the museum. I mean, he would. He would be the type of person to do that.
And convinced her to go home early, claiming that their mom was coming home sooner than what was planned.
Oh?
And that at 13 years old, he was responsible enough to take care of Ella until she arrived. Both of these things were untrue.
So, the babysitter just believed him?
A few minutes later, the two children were left alone in the house.
Buddy, if I was being paid to babysit these two kids, right? And then the teenager is like, oh, mom's gonna come home early so you can just leave. Bitch, please, I'm getting paid. No. At least I would double check with the mom first to double check to say, hey, are you coming home early? Or is it something like that? Like, are you coming home early? What's happening? Why is your son saying this? And one fact check could have thrown his fucking story out the fucking window. So he's planning this?
Things quickly escalated.
Abilene 911.
Hello?
Why was he planning this?
Abilene 911, go ahead.
I accidentally killed somebody.
You think you killed somebody?
No, I know I did. I woke up and I was hallucinating.
You were hallucinating?
Yes, and I thought my sister was a demon and I killed her.
Seemingly frantic and in between tears, Paris appeared helpless to the operator on the other end of the line. She urged the teen boy to perform CPR, a suggestion he initially resisted, insisting it was too late.
What I want you to do is take her off the bed. And
No, I know for a fact that she's dead because I...
do you want to go ahead and try? It might still help, okay?
No, I don't think it'll help.
Yeah, but it's because you stabbed her a million times, then you know she's probably dead. And you don't feel like helping her. He is probably schizophrenic. Could be. But he could just also just be a psychopath. Like, there's a possibility he could have been a psychopath as well. The brother. Yeah, I can see what you're getting at. That he was schizo. But I feel like that's more of an excuse than anything else. Like, if you're schizo, you had, like, no control of your environment, right? He literally set this up to a way that she was left alone with him, with no one else to stop him if anything went wrong. He literally lied to the babysitter saying, hey, my mom's gonna come home early. You can just leave. He knew what he was doing. He set that up. I feel like maybe he had some schizo that never got diagnosed. But I do think he was definitely cognitive during the time where he committed that murder. Because, like, don't like most, like, generally schizo people who aren't using it as, like, excuse just, like, act without noticing. Like, they don't know what's going around them, they just act. But the fact that he set up a way for him to be alone with her by sending the babysitter early, by lying to the babysitter, makes that theory a bit off. I don't think he's like fully schizo. Maybe like a little bit. But I think he is definitely psychotic as well. Especially since his grandmother like quote unquote killed someone. Like killed his grandfather. So a possibility that it could be, you know, genetics, maybe. Who knows?
Come on, Paris, work with me.
The operator is forced to plead with him as she believed time was running out for the little.
And the fact that he's like unwilling to help his little sister that he grew up with. Like he was so unwilling. He's like, I don't want to do CPR. I don't think it's too late. If I had an episode or something, I don't. But if like all of a sudden I had like if I'm like schizo, quote unquote, and I woke up and my sister's dead, I'm doing everything I fucking can to save her. This guy does not want to do anything to save his sister.
Little girl, but unbeknownst to her, it was already too late.
Paris,
Yes?
take her off the bed and put her on the floor.
Okay, hold on.
What I want you to do is I want you to put your hands on her chest, okay? And I want you to push 30 times. I want you to count.
The operator continued to guide him through the procedure while waiting for the officers to arrive, but once they did, they found Ella lying face down, meaning there were no signs that anyone performed CPR on her.
And the fact that he lied to more people saying he tried CPR, but he clearly isn't, leads me to believe that he's not schizo. He's just psychotic.
The entire time Paris had been on the phone, he had only been pretending. He never actually tried to save his sister's life.
I went to see him that night. I was like, I don't believe you anymore. I think you killed your sister on purpose. All of a sudden, he became a completely different person. It's like he no longer had to keep up this act anymore.
He was psychotic, I'm pretty sure he said.
Y'all are so stupid. He laughed at me.
Yep, he was psychotic.
Paris always seemed like a gifted, quiet boy and good-mannered child, caring and looking out for his sister. But now, Charity looks back in horror and wonders if there was more than met the eye with Paris, hints of strange behavior, or clues that he could have been capable of something like this.
I mean, he was really rough with it, even as a child.
Paris, what is your problem? People that have had siblings, they tussle, they wrestle. Sometimes you have to pull them apart.
Yeah, but he's like really
95%
rough
of
with
the
her.
time, They got along well.
But despite any issues she had with Paris, she never thought he could ever harm his little sister.
Yeah, he was just psychotic. Probably got it from his grandma, probably. Probably got it from grandma. He probably heard what happened to grandma and got inspired or something.
February 10th, 2007. Ella's funeral is being held at a local church. Family, friends, and members of the community gather to say goodbye.
Bro, the fact that he acted throughout those years, that's just insane. That's just, yeah, he was just born psychotic. Like, the fact that he was acting all that years in front of his mom. Like, no normal kid would actually do that.
To remember a beautiful little girl gone far too soon.
Ella wanted to be a singer. I don't really know what to say at a time like this because Ella, she was a pistol, and she always said what was ever on her mind. She brought life into everybody.
The small town of Abilene, Texas, is in complete shock. 4-year-old Ella Bennett's horrific murder made no sense. Charity doesn't know what to do. Not only did she lose her daughter, but her son is the one incarcerated for the murder. While struggling with her grief, all eyes are—
He does look like, I'm sorry, he does look like a Discord mod. Like the Discord mod meme, he does kind of look like it.
are on her. To the community, it was Charity's fault anything like this had ever happened. It
Huh?
was her fault for creating a monster.
I remember people discussing what kind of books did Paris read and what kind of video games did he play. I believe Charity got the brunt of that because even if it's a book that he's reading, well, who got him the book? And even if it's a video game that he's playing, well, who allowed him to play that game?
Like, I get to the point that parents should be parenting, but I think this was way out of her league. Poor girl had to experience her mom kill her dad, and now her fucking child kill her other child. Holy shit, I feel bad for her. Like, do you think she's not depressed already?
Charity took a lot of heat for her situation. People were very cruel to her. She'd be in a shock. Oh, you're the mother that, oh, your son, you know, and
In the midst of the community's criticism, Charity was broken. Her first love, Paris, just took the life of her second love, Ella. She feels as though she's lost both her children, but the reality is, Paris is still alive, and she is still his mother, despite the cruel betrayal. But just like everyone in the town, Charity never saw this coming. Charity needs answers. She needs to know what's wrong with her son.
Yeah, psychopaths are really good at hiding things, yeah. But like, I do get to like the point, oh, maybe the parents should have like watched them better, see the signs. But there are cases where children are just born psychotic. There are just people who are just born psychotic despite like the upbringing they had. Like she literally did everything she could for him. Like getting the babysitter, working 2 jobs to keep food on the table. She literally did everything she could. Her fault. The dad's not even in the picture. Like, it's not her fault that one of her kids just turned out to be psychotic.
To ensure she gets justice for her daughter.
I had a psychopath checklist youth version administered to Paris and then reevaluated. His assessor told me, you deserve to know that your son is a sociopath.
But everything only gets harder once Charity starts preparing for the trial. With her 4-year-old Ella dead and her only living child being the one to take her life, she has to face the fact that by being there for each of her children, she risks failing the other.
When I would go talk to a district attorney, I had to be Ella's mother. When I went to talk to a defense attorney, I had to be Paris's mother. And if I tried to put Paris and Ella together in my brain, I really got close to insanity.
The trial begins nearly a month after the tragic event. The messiness only worsens when she finds herself standing in the middle of the courtroom.
At one point, sat in the middle because I can't choose sides. Both my children.
Deep inside, Charity faces the reality that there's nothing she can do to bring Ella back. She realizes that she must make one of the most difficult choices she could as a mother, and in that moment, she chooses to stand by Paris' side, refusing to abandon him. But now, she doesn't see him as the innocent boy she once raised, but as the murderer he has become. He needs to be accountable for his actions, and she decides to love him in a new way, not trying to save him from justice, but making sure he faces it and gets psychiatric help.
After Paris killed his sister, I was not trying to get Paris off. I
Yeah.
wanted to get Paris help.
On August 15th, 2007, after months of trial, Paris pleads guilty to capital murder in juvenile court. He's given the maximum sentence for a juvenile, 40 years.
Ooh.
With Paris now spending most of his adult life in prison, Charity makes a promise.
I told him that I was always going to love him no matter what. And then I also promised him that I was always going to do the best job I could to be his mother.
For as long as Charity could remember, her life had been marked by tragedy, but now she chooses a different path. She chooses to heal by facing the truth.
I'm tired of the history repeating itself. I have been able to forgive Paris for the worst thing imaginable, but I'm never going to be comfortable with it.
Yeah, forgive but not forget.
In order to have my own sense of peace, to have integrity, it's time to stop the pattern.
Now, Charity is determined to support other families going through trauma.
The night that Ella died, I made her a promise that something meaningful would come out of her death.
So I set up the Ella Foundation to prevent violence by sharing our story.
Charity is an advocate for children's mental illness rehabilitation, speaking loudly about getting proper help and support for kids that might be heading down the wrong path due to an unmanaged mental illness. She does everything in her power to make sure that what happened to her family never happens to anyone ever again. Ella's memory continues to heal the wounds of tragedy that defined the Bennetts for nearly half a century, and through Charity's voice, Ella continues to offer a second chance to families who have lost hope in healing.
You're right that it will never bring Ella back, but it does keep Ella alive. I can't change Paris today, but maybe by doing this, I can help with changing somebody else's child.
Damn, she's a lot stronger than I would have been. Holy shit. Yeah, that kid was just psychotic to begin with. Holy god. Damn. I still find it wild that the kid was acting throughout, not only just by his like childhood, but throughout like 13 years of acting like you love your sister when you don't. That's a long ass time to be quote unquote acting. Especially at home when you're with your parents and stuff. Well, his mom in this case. Like, sure, she was busy, but like he had to act like basically every single second of every single day for like 13 years. Holy shit. Give him an Oscar, but not really. Give him an Oscar, but not really. Holy shit. I feel bad for Charity. Like, the fact that her mom, like, murdered her dad, and then now her son murdered her daughter. I don't think anyone would have, stand strong with that, because holy shit. Like, I would think, like, I'm the problem if, like, two people who I know try to kill someone or something like that. Like, holy shit, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why is this happening? That is wild. Holy moly. I think I could fit one more video before I call it a day. Yeah, I think it's good. I could fit one more video, I think. Why does she look so crazy? What the thumbnail? Cops famed death or murder doesn't know Theo saw everything. So let me see this.
This 3-year-old boy is found walking alone in the street with a soiled diaper. His parents are known to be good people and would never let him out of their sight. Cops quickly discovered that his mom was brutally murdered. They think the husband did it after he left a note with a motive. He's sentenced to life in prison. The problem is, the husband is innocent. And worse yet, the cops know about it and have been hiding it for 25 years. But no one could have imagined that the truth would finally come from the only person who saw the real killer, the 3-year-old boy who lost both his parents. He will come back to take down his mother's killer and to save his own father.
Damn. Kid's on a mission. Kid's on a mission.
Texas, August 13th, 1986. Early that morning, a man finds a 3-year-old boy wandering alone outside the Morton residence at 911 Hazelhurst Drive. When the man walks the boy back inside, he calls out for his mother, Christine, but gets no answer. After searching,
You should watch Campfire Cooking an hour with my observed skills sometimes. You cooking? You're making food? Share. Share. Share that food thing. Thanks.
searching through the house, the neighbor heads to the master bedroom and stumbles upon a horrific scene. When Sheriff Jim Boutwell from Williamson County is called to the location, he finds Christine's body hidden under a blanket, covered with a blue suitcase and a wicker basket. Upon removing the items, he sees Christine is no longer recognizable. She has been killed with a large, blunt object. After searching the rest of the house, he can see no signs of forced entry, no sign that anything has been stolen. It's determined that Christine was not sexually assaulted, which has investigators puzzled, until they find a note left on the dresser. It's written by Christine's husband, Michael. Later that day, Michael leaves work to go pick up his son at the daycare, but finds little Eric was never brought in. He calls home to ask his wife what happened. To his surprise, it's Sheriff Boutwell who answers the phone. He says nothing to Michael about what happened, and asks him to come home at once.
When Sheriff Boutwell told me that Chris was dead, I asked if it was murder. He said yes. I asked to see her. I wanted, not proof, but, I needed to see her. The sheriff refused.
Isn't that kind of suspicious? Like, why would a killer leave a note with his fucking name on it? Huh? How does that make any sense? Like, unless it's like a murder-suicide, that he should be off killing himself. Not going picking up his son and asking his wife, hey, where is my son, by the way? How did they assume it was... Like, I get that they have to, like, make sure they can clear everyone around them. So, family, husbands, girlfriends, boyfriends, etc. But, like, that seems way too set up. It's kind of stupid, not gonna lie. Oh, the isekai anime. Ah. Maybe we can watch it after, like, maybe Uma Musume is done. In movie night. Yeah. That's suspicious, ain't it? Ain't that a bit suspicious? Like, what type of killer would write out a note saying why they killed her, and then write their fucking signature on it? Huh?
All the questions were adversarial, accusatory. It became clear to me that the sheriff showed up, looked around, and, okay, husband did this.
September 25th, not long after Christine's funeral, Michael is at home with his son when the doorbell rings. He takes Eric in his arms and goes to answer. When he opens the door, it's Sheriff Jim Boutwell with several deputies. They're here to arrest Michael.
I don't remember the exact words, but I said something along the lines of, what? You've got to be kidding. What? I turned off some stuff in the kitchen. I grabbed Eric and I told him that I wanted to call a friend to come get him. And he said that wouldn't be necessary.
One of the deputies grabs 3-year-old Eric and pulls him out of his father's arms, while Sheriff Boutwell handcuffs Michael. All the while, Eric is screaming for his father, with his arms outstretched as he's being taken away.
No.
Before we continue, something disturbing happens when you Google your data bro and you're listing to
ads.
And there are hundreds getting your information. February 9th, 1987, less than 6 months after the murder, Michael Morton's trial begins.
Innocent people think that if you just tell the truth, you've got nothing to fear from the police. I never seriously thought that they would convict me.
The prosecutor is District Attorney Ken Anderson, who is known for being aggressive, sarcastic, and smart. For him, Christine's murder trial is his biggest case yet. If he wins, it will propel his career.
Oh. Is he the murderer? He has a motive too.
And he's ready to do anything to put Michael in prison, even breaking the rules. He begins his
Suspicious.
by focusing on the note found at the scene. It spoke of an argument the couple had the night before, about sex.
Prosecutors say he beat his wife to death after she refused to have sex with him on his birthday.
That's the best excuse they got? Huh? I get there is more stupid reasons for committing murder. But huh?
District Attorney Ken Anderson today focused his line of questioning on Morton's infrequent sexual relationship with his wife.
The story Anderson sells to the jury is that Michael wasn't happy with Christine, and he wanted out of the marriage. And when she refused to have sex with him on his birthday, he killed Christine in a fit of rage.
A Williamson County man took the witness stand today in his own murder trial. Morton broke down in tears today as District Attorney Ken Anderson showed him photos of his wife's body.
When Michael takes the stand, the jury hears his side of the story. How Christine was alive when he left for work, where he clocked in at around 6 a.m. According to his testimony, Christine must have been killed after he'd left.
So he had a fucking alibi.
He tells the court he wasn't angry when he left the note, that it was meant as a playful banter with his wife. But the jury no longer believes him.
So he wrote that? Bruh.
After Prosecutor Anderson brings his last witness to the stand.
In other trial news, damaging testimony yesterday in the wife-beating murder trial of Michael Morton. The jury relied on the testimony of Travis County Medical Examiner Dr. Roberto Vallardo.
Dr. Roberto Vallardo testifies under oath that after examining Christine's stomach contents, he estimates the time of death to be at around 1 a.m., 4 hours before Michael says he saw Christine alive when he left for work. The defense is devastated. With scientific proof against him, Michael's alibi falls apart, and the jury is now sure to see him as guilty. But what no one knows is that in reality, Dr. Vallardo was unable to determine the time of death accurately.
I was gonna say, was he paid off too?
But Ken Anderson still used him as an expert witness.
So, shitty ass, fucking ass evidence. Okay.
To give his damning testimony. February 17th, the trial comes to an end. During the closing arguments, prosecutor Ken Anderson puts the final nail in the coffin. He fabricates a claim that Michael sexually assaulted Christine after the fact.
But there was no sexual assault that happened during that time. The police said so themselves, that there was no sexual activity when she died. Where the fuck is he pulling this shit from?
While having no proof her real killer did anything of the sort. But it no longer matters. No one will contradict him now. As he describes the scene to the jury, Anderson has tears coming from his eyes. The performance is effective. It doesn't take long for the jury to deliberate.
Late this afternoon.
So is he just allowed to make shit up now? Didn't the police say that there was no sexual assault that happened on her body? And now he's pulling this shit out of the bag? How the fuck is no one calling this shit out now? Oh wait, it's the police.
Afternoon, a jury found Morton guilty of murdering his wife last summer and then sentenced him to life in prison.
After the sentencing, Anderson tells the media a life sentence is too good for Michael Morton, and that he should have been given the death penalty.
Is it because if he's alive, you can still fight it and close your fucking story out the window in a few years' time? Piece of shit.
It got sickening after a while to watch him cry at the wrong times, and he seemed only to cry for himself. Just totally...
You mean yourself? You mean you're crying for yourself, ain't you?
Without any remorse whatsoever for killing his wife.
When they announced the time, the aggravated life, I was stunned. It literally knocked the wind out of me. My knees buckled, my butt hit the chair. Had that chair not been there, I'd have hit the floor.
As he's escorted out of the courtroom in handcuffs, Michael continues to claim his innocence. but no one believes him.
I didn't do this. I'm sorry, what? I did not do this.
Ken Anderson has just put an innocent man in jail for life. All the while, the real killer is still out there, free to kill again. As for Michael, he languishes in his cell year after year. He files for appeals, but is rejected every time. His only solace comes from the visits of his son, Eric, whom he's allowed to see once every 6 months.
There was court-ordered visitation. Eric would have to be brought to me by my sister-in-law. Visitation is like oxygen. I would love seeing him, but I could also see that he was becoming more distant. He was becoming something of a stranger. The first time I heard him call my sister-in-law Mom, it startled me. As he got a little bit older, and he started, getting into puberty and becoming a teenager, some of the visits were feeling a little forced. One day, I got a letter from him that he said he would like to suspend the visits, not do them anymore.
Because the visits are under court order, Eric needs his dad's permission to stop coming to see him in prison. Michael is heartbroken. All he wants is to see his son one more time.
I wrote him back and I said, well, I'll grant your wish, but you got to come here and look me in the eye and tell me that. We had our greetings and I asked him if this was our last visit. And he wouldn't look me in the eye, but he looked at the floor and told me that, yeah, this last one. And I just looked at my sister-in-law and said something like, take care of my son. And I walked out.
District Attorney Ken Anderson has convinced Christine's family that Michael is guilty. So Eric, who is being raised by Christine's sister, has been brought up to believe his father killed his mom. Michael knows the only way he can ever get him back is to find a way to prove his innocence in court, or he may never see him again. It's 2004. Michael has been in jail for the last 17 years when he finally gets in contact with the Innocence Project, a non-profit legal organization that works to overturn wrongful convictions through DNA testing.
In 2004, the New York Innocence Project called me and asked me to take the case. It took me a minute to grasp it because I thought, are you calling the right number? I'd never had any kind of a criminal case before, but they said that they wanted me.
John Rayleigh, a civil attorney who became known to the project because of a medical malpractice case, agrees to take on what would be his first ever murder case. When he's given the court documents from Michael's trial, he immediately finds red flags.
One of the first things that struck me was the note he left for Christine.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
Wait a minute. If I was going to murder my wife, the last thing I would do is leave a note calling attention to an argument with my wife.
Exactly. Like, if you want to get away with murder, you wouldn't want to have anything directed to you.
As he reads through the file, Rayleigh is stunned to find no real evidence of guilt.
No witness, no eyewitness of any violence. He had no record. Mr. Morton passed 2 lie detector tests at the time of his prosecution.
He also finds key issues with the statements made by the medical examiner. According to the records, Roberto Bayardo didn't get access to Christine's body until a few days after her murder, which would make any assessment of the exact time of death impossible.
He used an analysis of stomach contents solely as his means of timing death, which all of the medical literature says you can't do. It should never have come into evidence at all, and if that was the basis for the jury's finding, then there's nothing. So there's nothing really to convict the man at trial. That doesn't mean he's innocent.
John Rayleigh is determined to find out the truth about Christine Morton's murder. His first step is to go meet Michael in person. When he arrives at the Mark W. Michael unit in East Texas, he's taken to the family room where Michael is waiting for him.
I ask him, what happened on August 12th and 13th, 1986? Take me through those 2 days in as much detail as you can.
August 12th, 1986, I turned 32. It was one of the best days of my life. We had 3 dark years where we had a sick child, and everything seemed to be heading up. So we all went to the City Grill. I remember feeling really, really good as we were leaving and Eric was walking on the between us, and we each had a hand, and you know how you'll sometimes pick him up, and it just felt really good. This is what it's about. Things are great here.
Mm.
We got home, finally got Eric to bed, and if you're married and it's your birthday, she fell asleep.
Aw.
What? Baby. I left a little note on the, no big deal. This happened, and at 5 o'clock next morning, the alarm went off. Showered, shaved, dressed, and it's the last time I saw her live.
I didn't really have the opportunity to grieve for her. Everything changed so rapidly away from her to me.
Chris had this amazing laugh. She would throw her head back and laugh, and you couldn't help but laugh with her. It was just so genuine. She was smart. She wasn't just sociable. She had a head on her shoulders. Everybody liked her. I was lucky that she went out with me.
Don't claim to have
Yeah,
sex.
you can like feel the love that he has for her. The fact that he's like smiles when he talks about her is like the sweetest thing ever.
Hours, but I cross-examine people for a living, and I can usually tell if people are fibbing. There was nothing about this man that did not speak from a place of integrity and honesty. They took his son out of his arms and handcuffed Michael, and Michael looks back and sees Eric reaching out and screaming, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." And this little boy that had just lost his mother now was losing his father. It affected me as a father because I thought about my children. I left amazingly moved by that, and I came home to my wife, Kelly, who I asked for advice on a lot of things. And I said, "Kelly, my God, he's innocent. We have to get him out." And she looked at me in the eye and she said, "Then do it."
John Ray
Go off,
doesn't
girl.
waste any time and puts a team together. When they get their hands on the list of evidence still on the file, they learn about a blue bandana with blood on it, which never made it into the actual trial. According to the 1986 investigation of the murder, one of the deputies saw a dirty bandana near a construction site about 100 yards from the house.
There was no DNA testing available back then, so it was put in a bag and it was stored and it was ignored. Naturally, we wanted to try to do DNA testing on the bandana.
To prove Michael's innocence, Rayleigh is hoping the bandana will contain Christine's DNA, as well as her killer's. In order to do the analysis, his team needs to get their hands on the actual evidence. But when they show up at the sheriff's department, they are denied access.
Now, why would they do that?
Suspicious.
The bandana could be a problem for them.
John files a motion, which would force them to turn the evidence over. But by 2005, they still haven't heard back from the district attorney's office. So John decides to give him a call.
John Bradley was the district attorney of Williamson County at the time we filed the motion for DNA testing. So I called up Mr. Bradley and I introduced myself. Well, I said, "Look, all we want to know is the truth. And nothing bad can come from seeking truth. Either Michael is where he's supposed to be, which is a good thing, or he's innocent, which means there may be a brutal murderer at large killing other people. Don't you want to find out?" And he said doing the test would muddy the waters. He said doing the test would muddy the waters. And I had no idea what he meant by that.
It just so happens John Bradley's mentor is none other than Ken Anderson, the prosecutor in Michael's case. Anderson has since been appointed district judge and has made some powerful friends in Williamson County, but now he's become one of the most
Suspicious.
influential figures himself. If the DNA testing proves Michael is innocent, it would look terrible for Anderson. But more importantly, there's something in the prosecutor files that Anderson doesn't want anyone to see. John Bradley understands this, and he rejects Rayleigh's request.
I was completely unprepared for the height and the depth of the power of the district attorney's office of Williamson County.
That's just corruption.
There was a strong political machine against us.
Michael's life hangs in the balance, but Ken Anderson didn't just take away his freedom, he also took away his son.
When my son turned 18, I got a letter that he was going to legally change his name and that he was going to be adopted by my sister-in-law and her husband, that I was going to officially and legally lose him. With all the bad things that had happened, my wife's murder, my arrest and conviction, my life sentence, all the deaths in my family, the failed appeals, the DNA snafus, all of that didn't do me in. I thought I was pretty tough and I could take it. But when I lost him,
Basically lost everything.
That's what broke me.
March 7th, 2008. Over 3 years after he filed his motion, John Raley has his first hearing in the case. He tells the judge about the bandana with blood on it, that it was never subjected to DNA testing. He also says the state has been blocking their efforts since day one. He hopes the judge will force them to hand over the evidence. But he has no idea that District Attorney John Bradley has already arranged for the judge to reject his request.
Oh my god, he's being paid off too!
Lost before it began. In fact, John Bradley isn't even at the hearing. Raley is furious. Right away, he gets in his car and heads off to go see Bradley at his office, which is in Georgetown, nearly 200 miles away.
I was seriously concerned that day that he might actually have a stroke or something. It was that bad. I mean, his blood pressure was so elevated and he was so angry.
I mean, anyone would be angry. They're blocking him for fighting justice. And everyone's being paid off.
It was like, this is going to kill my husband.
When he arrives in Bradley's office, Raley's blood is still boiling, and he does something completely out of character.
Maybe it's because I had driven all the way from Houston to Georgetown, and maybe it's because I was tired, and maybe because it's frustrating. But I said loud enough that everybody in his office could hear, "What are you afraid of?" Let me turn it on you, Mr. Bradley, because what would you do if the test results exonerated him and identified someone else as the murderer of his wife? Because I can handle the truth. Can you, sir?
Ooh, tell him. They can't handle the truth because they know what the truth is.
I've never told anybody this, and I don't know that I should now. There was a time in the middle of this that we were struggling financially, and there was a real temptation to focus on work that would make money for the family and not spend so much time on this pro bono case where nothing good is happening. That was a temptation.
A few days later, on a Saturday morning, John Raley gets a call he never expected. It's Michael, and he has news.
And he said, "Well, I'm up for parole again." And I said, "That's great." He said, "There's just one catch." He says, "I have to confess that I'm guilty of murder."
Oh.
Michael has been in jail for 21 years. He has no idea where his son is. John Raley wouldn't be surprised if, after all this time, he decides to take the deal. But admitting his guilt would mean Michael would lose his son forever.
I said, "What are you going to say, Michael?" And he said, "All I have left is my actual innocence. And if I have to be in prison the rest of my life, I'm not giving that up."
Damn, they try to pay him off. Holy moly. How many people did they try to pay off?
When I heard him say that, I felt this rush of emotion come over me. And I said, "Michael, I promise you I will never quit. As long as I'm breathing air, I'm trying to get you out of prison."
The year is 2010. John Raley has been fighting to free Michael Morton for 6 years when they go in front of the Third Court of Appeals.
I said this bloody bandana was the be-all and end-all about the case, and there was no legal basis to deny testing of the bloody bandana, none whatsoever. They asked the question that everybody seems to ask. what if the DNA testing comes out against your client? And I said, there's only one way to find out.
What ifs is always the what ifs, but they don't really want to check it, do they? Because they know what's on it.
While the court is deliberating, John Bradley takes to the media in an attempt to sabotage their efforts.
Michael Morton was convicted of killing his wife and sentenced to life in prison. His attorneys say the case now boils down to testing a bloody bandana found behind the home where Christine Morton was beaten to death. If that critical piece of evidence contains blood from the crime scene, it could show someone else did it. But Williamson County DA John Bradley says that's a pipe dream.
If I got a promise from Michael Morton that he would accept criminal responsibility for killing his wife, should the bandana exclude any other mystery killer, you know what? I would consider doing that.
And I said, Judge, we're paying for this. All we want to know is the truth. The state has fought us every step of the way. We have fought too hard, and we've come too far to get to this moment and have it taken away.
Damn,
Finally,
you tell him,
after
buddy.
fighting for 6 years, the Court of Appeals ruled that we could do DNA testing on
Thank fucking God they're not paid off.
the bloody bandana.
It will take months before they get the results back from the test. During that time, John Rayleigh's office sends a Freedom of Information Act request to gain access to Ken Anderson's files on the trial. They want to know, what else could John Bradley and Ken Anderson want to hide?
Yeah, because for like one single bandana, they're trying really hard to fucking hide it.
But the truth is far more disturbing than Rayleigh ever expected.
When I was able to finally get my hands on the file, I saw that the evidence of Michael's innocence was in the district attorney's file and had been concealed.
The investigation done in 1986 showed Michael should never have been the prime suspect. There was a footprint in the mud behind the home that no one had ever done a plaster cast of. There were strange fingerprints on the sliding glass door, but no one had ever run those prints. There was a sighting of a strange man in a large van in the days before the murder in the same area where the blue bandana was found, and the man was seen walking into the woods behind Christine and Michael's house.
Another piece of evidence that was concealed, and this is crucial and absolutely heartbreaking. Eric talked to his maternal grandmother, Christine's mother, on the day of Christine's funeral.
Rita, Christine's mother, wrote verbatim what Eric told her. This was their conversation. Mommy's crying. She stop it. Go away. Why is she crying? 'Cause the monster's here. What's he doing? He hit Mommy. Is Mommy still crying? No. Mommy, stop. The monster threw a blue suitcase on the bed. He's mad. Did the monster hurt Mommy? Yes. Mommy go to the hospital. Was he big? Yeah. Where did he leave? The door. Which door, Eric? Front door. Then, Eric's grandmother asked him the most crucial question. Where was Daddy, Eric? Was Daddy there? No, Mommy and Eric was there.
Like, I get they don't take it seriously at a case, on like crime cases most of the time, even though they really should. That just throws their whole entire story out the fucking window.
This information was concealed for 25 years. It was withheld from the defense, from the court, and from the jury. Ken Anderson knew that Michael was innocent, but he still sent him to prison for life and let the monster who killed his wife go free to kill again. Christine's mother, Rita, was later told by detectives that the man 3-year-old Eric called the monster was probably his dad. He just didn't recognize him. As for Eric, he was so young when he witnessed his mother's murder that he no longer remembered. June.
No, he said his dad wasn't there. It's just him and his mom. You asked him, was Daddy there? He's like, no, it's me, Mommy and Eric. How did you think that the monster was directed towards his dad? I get it was nighttime and he's a kid, but I think he should know what his dad fucking looks like.
2011. Michael has been in jail for 25 years. It's been months since the evidence has been sent in for DNA testing, and still no news. There's a chance the bandana is a dead end, and they don't find what they're looking for. Still, Michael
A dead end that they protect for so fucking long? I doubt it.
Michael hopes. Until one day, he's called to the family room where John Rayleigh is waiting for him, with a smile on his face. The DNA testing showed that the bandana with blood on it did contain Christine's DNA, along with the DNA of a man that was not Michael.
Thank fucking God.
The team ran the DNA results through the database to see if it matched one of the millions of profiles already in the system.
And they got a direct hit on a man with a known record of felonies in 3 states, including breaking and entering residences and assault with intent to murder. And his name is Mark Allen Norwood.
Norwood had escaped detection for the last 25 years, and Rayleigh was convinced Christine was not his only victim. While searching through cold cases in Travis County, his team stumbled upon a victim whose murder looked a lot like Christine Morton's.
The woman's name was Deborah Jan Baker, and she was killed a couple years after Christine, exactly the same way.
They both had been killed by a large, blunt tool. Both had household objects piled over their bodies. Neither had been sexually assaulted. What's worse, both women lived within 10 miles of each other, and yet, investigators had never connected the 2 crimes. After looking up Norwood's address at the time of both murders, Rayleigh found out that his house was only 1 street corner away from Deborah's house. To confirm their theory, Rayleigh's team got access to the evidence in the Baker case, and after running DNA tests on a few hairs found at the crime scene, they were able to definitively identify Deborah Baker's killer as Mark Allen Norwood.
But why would they protect this guy though? I thought it was the prosecutor was actually the killer, but
I remember saying, oh wow, this is it. An innocent man in prison, a murderer out there.
Mark, Dave Fugit. Hey. I'm the lead investigator on the Deborah Baker case. You know, Mark, it's been 23 years ago that Deborah Baker was killed. With the advances in technology, you know, it's inevitable. You know it as well as I do that we were going to come to this crossroad.
no, you don't. You really tried to fucking not.
You want to place me under arrest?
New at 6, Mark Allen Norwood, a violent criminal with a record going back 3 decades, arrested today in a murder that sent the wrong man to prison for 25 years. And we've just confirmed he's also a suspect in a second murder.
When the truth finally comes out, that Michael Morton had been wrongfully convicted, District Judge Ken Anderson takes to the media in an attempt to salvage the situation.
Salvage how? You literally tried to prevent this. You literally try to prevent justice.
I want to formally apologize for the system's failure to Mr. Morton and to every other person who was adversely affected by this verdict.
What he doesn't know is that Deborah Baker's daughter, Caitlin, is in the crowd.
In my heart, I know there was no misconduct whatsoever. I believe that the prosecutors fully complied with all the orders of the court.
He's not holding himself accountable.
Exactly.
He's making a lot of excuses.
Yep.
Do you feel he's responsible for your mother's murder?
In part. In part, absolutely.
How so?
Well, he let Norwood go. He didn't get him when he should have. And my mother could be alive right now if he had.
Ken Anderson not only put an innocent man in jail for 25 years, but he also allowed the real killer to take Deborah Baker's life.
Yeah, and apparently let him live a fucking life too. Because they arrested him at his home, right? Why was he protecting this guy?
After Mark Allen Norwood is arrested, and evidence of Michael's innocence has come to light, Anderson becomes the subject of a special criminal inquiry for deliberately hiding evidence from the court. And after a long battle led by Michael's attorneys, John Rayleigh and the Innocence Project, Ken Anderson is disbarred, disrobed, and for the crime of misconduct resulting in wrongful conviction, will become the first prosecutor to ever be sent to jail.
Thank fucking God, he should pay.
As for Norwood, he's convicted of the murders of Christine and Deborah and received 2 life sentences.
Good
While
riddance.
officials believe Norwood was most likely a serial killer, his reign of terror has finally come to an end.
It was somewhat chaotic. There was a procession, cameras were everywhere, people, I didn't know which way we were going. Fortunately, the sun was beaming down right there, and it was this beautiful kind of fall day. The sun felt so good on my face that I kind of tilted my head back like I was getting a suntan or something, trying to just drink it in.
After Michael's release, John Rayleigh arranged a special dinner for him at his house, a dinner to which he also invited Michael's son, Eric.
No.
I noticed that our shoes were disturbingly similar. We both had on new blue jeans. The way we held our heads, our gaits as we walked were eerily similar. And
He's your kid after all.
the jeans are there. We shook hands immediately, but that morphed into a hug. It was like this melding. We just came back, just natural as that. And I couldn't have planned it any better.
And Michael said, son. And Eric said, Dad. And I think just for a second, I got a glimpse of what heaven must be like.
John Rayleigh, very few people can look to somebody and say, excuse me, that you owe your life to them. I can say that about John. I can point to him and say, there's the guy. That's the guy who got me out. And he didn't know me from the man in the moon. When somebody does something like that for you, you're never the same. He's my friend. And he's my brother. Now, everything is different for me. The conundrums of life, the philosophical paradoxes, the metaphysical problems, I feel like I get it now. I understand suffering and unfairness. I can't think of anything better to receive than that. I'm good with this. This world, is what's happened to me, where I'm going, what I'm doing. No matter what sort of travail you go through, that experience is what makes you who you are. I wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't been broken. Life is good now.
Did they at least pay him for like convicting him wrongly? Like most cases of unlawful conviction, usually they should, no, they do, but they should pay them for basically forcing an innocent man in jail for fucking 25 years. Holy shit. I am so happy that prosecutor went to jail. He deserves at least that much. Like, finish off his sentence for him. Let him live his life for jail. Let him die in there. Let him rot. Holy moly. It's just like, yeah, we know now that he was holding evidence, but the fact that he was making shit up during the trial, like the initial trial, where he said, oh, there was sexual assault claims, a sexual assault during the crime, when there's evidence that says there was no sexual assault happening at the time, but he pulled that out anyways. Like, he shouldn't be a prosecutor. He made shit up. And that infuriates me. And the fact that he has so much power at that point, the fact that he can block someone from finding out the truth for at least a good year, or blocking someone from double checking if there's a truth. It's just like, what are you hiding, buddy? Like, he knows he was wrong. He knows that. Honestly, going in, I thought the son was gonna fight for his dad. Not gonna lie, it would have been cool, but it is what it is. Thank God for the defense attorney to help him and never gave up on him at all during those years. Holy shit! Because if he didn't fight that hard for that long, man would have spent his whole entire life in jail innocent. Holy shit. I've never been so frustrated with a case for a long while. I think like the last time I've been really frustrated with like the Junko case. But this is really up there with how it frustrates me. Holy shit. It's so obvious too. It's like, it's so obvious. How can y'all not see it? How can y'all not see it? They're being paid off and shit. How is that not suspicious to you? I am so... yeah, I think that'd be it for today's stream. So I'll be on vacation for about a week, so I might be back for next Sunday. But videos will be up. I'll try at least to like make sure they're up within the day at least. I don't think like they'll be up at like the same time maybe, but I'll make sure to upload them as much as I can every day. And yeah, thank you guys so much. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I'll see you guys next week when I do when I come back with more Uma Moshome. Yes. I don't know how to raid the people, but I don't know how to raid people. If you guys want to check out another streamer, here's my one of my ushis, so definitely check it out. But yeah, that'll be it for today. Please do take care of yourself, stay hydrated, and I'll see you guys next week after my vacation. Because I do need some time to rewind and stuff. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.